Howdy do, folks! It's me again, Mr. Whiskers, with another episode of How to Make Wine. Today, we're going to get started with a fruit medley. Just a variety of different fruits that we put together. Now, what I do is I freeze my fruits ahead of time, and then I juice them. Kind of breaks down the cell walls in each individual fruit piece and makes it easier to get the juice out. The show is brought to you by The Beard Struggle. So if you're growing a beard or just want to take better care of your beard, go to thebeardstruggle.com. Wide variety of scents as well as products on there. Don't forget to use discount code Mr. Whiskers15. That will get you a 15% discount, hence the 15. All one word, Mr. Whiskers15. So go to thebeardstruggle.com. I'll have a link in the description section down below. While we get started, go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, get the notifications, and that way every time we do one of these shows, you will be among the first to know about it. Share this video, share the mess out of it, please, I beg you. Help get the name out there. I'll have a link in the description section on where to go for the website. Again, Mr. Whiskers15. Let's get into this. What I've got is a fruit medley. Can you see that? I've got blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries. What I do, see all that juice down there? Well, here's a little trick. Get your fruit together, freeze it. That's going to break down the cell wall, make it easier to get more juice, which is going to be more flavor out of your berries or whatever fruit you're using. Let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to start with is the hard part. Are you ready? Oop, better cover that up. Got to grease the products here. Sugar. I'm going to put about roughly 2 pounds of sugar in here. I'm just going to kind of put my hand in there, and when it's about 2 pounds, cut it right off. I've already measured out, 7 pints of water. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in there, and that way the sugar will go ahead and start dissolving. If you'll take note of baking, they always say baking is a science, and when they do baking, sugar is among one of the liquid ingredients because it will liquefy. So, I'm going to get a little generous stir on that, get that started. Alright. Now what I've done is I've washed and sanitized the bucket, which is the primary fermenter, if you'll remember from other shows we've done. Now here's the pantyhose that we're going to use to juice and strain all the juice from all the berries. There's no shame in buying pantyhose, fellas. And what I do is I'll just kind of get it in there as much as I can. If you get a couple fruit pieces step out, that's okay. There's no harm there. I've got about, give or take 3.5, 4 pounds of fruit. And like I said, when you freeze the fruit, it just makes it easier for the juicing because it breaks down the fruit a little bit more. Now here's where you're going to get a little messy, fellas, or ladies if you're out there. You're going to get a little juice splatter like I just did. Oh no! It's the end. Well, alright. Get a little workout doing this, because you got to hold all that fruit. What the main purpose of separating the fruit from the other part of the wine making in here is basically makes it easier when you go to transfer out from the primary fermenter into the aging side. You want to get as much of the pulp out of there. It makes it easier. That process is called racking, and there's a little juice still in that. And I'm all about recycling. So take your favorite ice cream jug. It comes in a seal top. And you can use that to get the wine making going too. And what I'm doing is just squeezing, pressing out as much of the juice as I can. And kind of forcing the pulp to kind of stay right there. You're going to get some of the flesh pieces come out. That's okay. But what you want to do is get as much of the juice out of the fruit as you can this first go around. And as you start to see the solid is coming out of the pantyhose, or if you use a nylon mesh bag you can get at a wine making supply store, go ahead and hit that Google search for a local provider for you. That way you'll know who you can go to for specific questions, products. You can get all kind of size buckets and glass or plastic aging containers. You can get a lot of stuff like that. All the pectins and enzymes that we use in winemaking, you'll be able to find out from there too. Plus, you might even get to network with some of those guys, and they'll show you some of their favorite techniques or different ways of making wine. Now, leave this in the primary fermenter. If you'll excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to go wash up real quick. All right. It's important to stay as clean as possible when doing this because, well, you just want to. All right, get your measuring spoons out. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my acid blend. What did I do with my acid blend? Here it is. Open that little puppy up. And I'm going to get about 1.5 teaspoons. So there's half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, 1.5. And of course that basically is going to help you to balance all the acids that are in the juice, in the fruit. My pectin enzyme, which is going to balance and help break down the pectin that's in the fruit. And all I need on that is about half a teaspoon. That's just going to help. In the end, it's going to help make sure that the wine stays as clear as possible. Without that, you're going to have kind of a hazy look to the wine. It may not taste bad, but it just doesn't look pretty. And of course, you want the wine to be pretty. The nutrient. It's yeast nutrient. You want a full teaspoon of this. This is going to give the yeast what it needs to feast off of. And of course, if I can be absolutely grotesque, yeast has 2 major functions: eat sugar and then it farts a lot. So it's going to make a lot of carbon dioxide as well as produce the alcohol that you want. Now here comes the important part of the winemaking. You want to make sure you start with a good, clean product. And how you're going to do that is by using Camden. Now it's 1 Camden tablet. I showed you this the last time. That's what it looks like. I realized after I did this, I didn't show you what it looks like. So I wanted to put the camera angle a little bit different so you can see how easy this is. Just put the Camden tablet in the spoon bowl. Take another spoon and press. It presses very nicely. And what I mean by clean start is the Camden is going to make sure that any wild yeast that could be airborne from like a package of bread you have across the room, just as an example, this will help make sure that you start without any problems of having that wild yeast. You don't want that. That's going to ruin your product. Right now, I'm done for about 24 hours. In 24 hours, I'm going to add the yeast to this. That way we can go ahead and get the fermentation started. And if you'll remember the last time I showed you the grommet inside the lid, it's very important that you get as much of an airtight seal as you can. This is going to help keep bugs from getting in here, as well as any other wild yeasts. Press down on the lid. And of course, always finish with your airlock. And that's going to have this piece here, which has little air vents in the bottom. I use a very, very cheap vodka, just because it prevents any kind of bacteria within there. The last thing you want is wild, crazy bacteria growing. And I just pour, there's a line in the airlock that'll tell you where to fill it to. Put its little hat on. This is going to keep the bugs out and allow the carbon dioxide to get out. And that way you don't have any problems getting anything else back in here. Let it set for about 24 hours, and after that, add the yeast. Folks, it's been a fantastic time. I appreciate all your comments and questions. Any questions you have, please look me up on Facebook. You can find me on Clayton Jackson. You'll find my ugly mug on there. I'm happy to answer any questions I can. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll tell you I don't know. Give me a few minutes and I'll find out. And then I'm going to ask somebody who knows even more than me. It's what I've done for 20 plus years. This has always been a great time for me to just enjoy a good glass of wine. And the best part is the fruits of my labor. Share it with my friends. It's always a great time. Guys, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to stop by thebeardstruggle.com. Use Mr. Whiskers15 as your discount code. And let me know what you like about the beard wells. We'll talk to you next time. Have a great one.